Hey guys, it's TheSandov back at it again. In this video, we are going to go over the Valtan Legion Raid Phase 1 mechanics. As always, I'll be going over the main moves and mechanics of the dungeon. So let's get right into it. Being the very first Legion Raid available, you are gonna notice that we have a brand new set of skills at our disposal. These are called Sidereals, and only the raid leader can use them. The gauge must be filled up to use one skill of your choice. This gauge regenerates slowly with time. It'll also regenerate after some mechanics, as well as using counterattacks successfully. The first option available is Control Z. This is Tyrane and he's used for a huge damage burst. The second option is Control X. This is Wei and he's used for the massive stagger attack to impair bosses. And the last option is Ctrl C. This will be Balthor, and he reduces damage taken, make your raid immune to knockbacks and stuns, as well as make you invulnerable to some one-shot mechanics. I recommend taking whirlwind grenades and dispel items for this fight, as the boss can apply a heavy bleed. Before heading into the battle, you and your raid must set positions for a mechanic that will happen twice. Have all 8 players equally divide themselves in 8 different sections in a circle, starting from the 1 o'clock position. Players will take orbs in order, starting from the 1 o'clock position, then try to stagger the boss. So remember your spot. I will explain this mechanic in detail once we get there. In this battle, you'll face against 3 different types of wolves. The first boss you'll be facing is the purple wolf. And shortly after starting the fight, at around 45 health bars, he will disappear and call the red wolf into battle. When this is happening, stand on the left side of the map, as the blue and red auras will explode, dealing damage around them. Once it is safe, you can head back into the battle against the red wolf. The red wolf does bleed damage that stacks. You can use dispels to counter this bleed. And shortly after fighting the red wolf, the blue wolf will join the fight. 2 players will be marked with a crosshair. One will be red and one will be blue. The color of the crosshair indicates the color of the wolf that is targeting that player. You must keep these wolves separated, as they will have damage reduction buff if they are near each other. Have the red wolf go to the top section and the blue wolf go to the bottom section, or vice versa. Adapt to the situation. At the same time, some players will have a yellow buff. This yellow buff indicates that you must target the blue wolf. Players without the buff must target the red wolf. After successfully dealing enough damage to the blue wolf, he will flee the battle, and players can carry on damaging the red wolf. The main mechanic will happen at 30 health bars. The boss will jump into the center of the arena and channel a spell. This is your indicator to take your spots, the ones assigned prior to entering the fight. 8 orbs will spawn in alternating colors, blue and red. Players must take these orbs in order, starting from the 1 o'clock position clockwise. At the same time, the boss will have a big impairment mechanic, and you must stagger him within the time limit. Failing to impair him will wipe the raid. Not taking orbs in alternating order will also wipe the raid. These orbs will follow the nearest player at the time of spawn. The moment you take an orb, begin to impair the boss with everything you have. Use whirlwind grenades here if you have them. Sidereal skill Wei is insanely helpful during this mechanic and is what most people use to deal with this mechanic. The raid leader will most likely be the first person to take the orb, then use Sidereal skill Wei to inflict the huge stagger damage on the boss, making this phase much easier. The moment the boss gets impaired, players don't have to worry about taking orbs anymore. But don't just go and grab the orbs, as you might die. Wait for them to despawn. Once you have successfully passed the mechanic, the boss will change into the blue wolf. The blue wolf has freeze attacks that you must watch out for. And shortly after fighting the blue wolf, the red wolf will come and join the fight this time. It'll be the same thing as before. 2 different players will be marked with a blue or red crosshair, and they must separate the bosses. However, this time the yellow buff indicates that you must attack the red wolf, and no buff means attack the blue wolf. At 15 health bars, the main mechanic will happen again. The boss will jump into the center of the arena and cast the orbs one more time. Remember your spot and do the mechanic once again. The only difference this time is after the boss gets impaired. The moment he recovers, he will cast attack waves all around the map. There's a safe spot at the bottom of the map, so stand there to avoid this attack. There's one way to cheese this mechanic and it works every single time. It is pretty simple as well. It does not require to set positions at all. Make sure to communicate with your group and let them know that you'll do the all 6 o'clock strategy. As the name states, when the mechanic is going to happen, every single player except the raid leader will go to the 6 o'clock position at the very bottom of the map. The raid leader will then position him or herself just below the boss and cast Sidereal skill way for the stagger. However, this time all of the orbs will follow the raid leader. The raid leader must then walk north, grabbing one orb while being followed by all of the orbs, just waiting for them to despawn. At the same time, when the party members see that the orbs start to follow the raid leader, all party members are free to go and stagger the boss. It is just so simple and fail-proof, and I highly recommend this strategy every single time. Now that you have successfully passed this mechanic, you will go up against the purple wolf, meaning you have passed all the mechanics and you just need to burn the boss down to 0 HP. The purple wolf has all the attack moves of all the other wolves combined, as well as a fear attack that you need to watch out for. He will send out a shockwave and the furthest player will be in the feared state. If you get feared, ping yourself to let other players know. He will then teleport to that player and have an impairment mechanic. Players must stagger the boss within the time limit or that player will be sacrificed. Alright, now I'm gonna mention some notable attack moves from the wolves. Just something you should know is that most of the wolves' attacks are front attacks. Standing behind them will be a good area to be during combat. As you know, the red wolf will apply bleed stacks on you. Once a player hits 3 bleed stacks, a linear attack will trigger on the ground. Prevent hitting 3 bleed stacks with dispel items or skills. The blue wolf will have freeze attacks where he'll launch snowflakes on the ground, and these snowflakes will then explode and send out freezing waves in all directions. Stay away from the snowflakes and be ready to dodge. Watch the ground texture for some attacks, in particular one that is hard to see and it explodes after a set time. Move far if you see this on the ground. The wolves can do a tornado attack that will close up an area around it. Move around this area while avoiding the tornado as it will follow a player. All wolves will have an attack where they'll channel energy and cast Skittles on players' feet. If you see this move on any of the wolves, simply move around the area and you can easily dodge them by walking. When you see rectangle telegraphed attacks across the map, it means the wolf will take a huge backstep and then send out 3 linear attacks starting from in front of him and then outwards. When the wolves do a spin attack, there is a chance they're gonna blow up the outer zone. There is an attack where the wolf's hand will be glowing green. This means he will send out tons of donut attacks to all players. Best way to dodge this is to run away as far as possible. Most of the wolves' attacks are quite telegraphed and they're easy to learn. And like I said, standing on their backside is a good place to be. I hope this video was helpful to you and you'll be able to continue onwards to phase 2. I will be linking that video in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. See you guys next time.